Think you're just not a math person? Science has some news for you. That's actually not a thing. Your brain is incredibly adaptable, and with the right habits, you can literally rewire it to understand math better. Here are 10 scientifically backed ways to train your brain into becoming a math master. 1. Sleep like your grade depends on it, because it does. Let's start with the easiest hack: sleep. When you sleep, your brain consolidates everything you learned during the day, especially the tricky math concepts. During deep sleep, your brain replays the neural patterns from learning, strengthening the connections that help you solve problems. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that students who get adequate sleep, 8 to 10 hours for teens, perform significantly better on math tests than their sleep-deprived peers. Even better, a 2019 study found that students who took a 90-minute nap after learning new math concepts improved their problem-solving ability by 20%. The hack: don't pull all-nighters before math tests. Instead, review your material, get a solid night's sleep, and let your brain do the heavy lifting while you dream. 2. Exercise your body to upgrade your brain. Here's something that sounds too good to be true. Going for a run can make you better at algebra. Physical exercise increases blood flow to your brain, particularly to the hippocampus, which is crucial for learning and memory. It also triggers the release of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is basically fertilizer for your brain cells. A study from the University of Illinois found that students who engaged in 20 minutes of moderate exercise before taking a math test scored significantly higher than those who sat quietly. The effect was especially strong for complex problem-solving questions. The hack: before a big study session or test, do 20 to 30 minutes of exercise. Even a brisk walk counts. Your brain will literally be more ready to tackle those equations. 3. Eat brain food. Yes, it's real. Your brain uses about 20% of your body's energy, even though it's only 2% of your body weight. What you eat directly affects how well it functions, especially for tasks requiring focus and problem-solving. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish, walnuts, and flax seeds, have been shown to improve cognitive function and memory. A 2015 study in PLOS One found that students with higher omega-3 levels in their blood performed better on math tests and had better attention spans. Blueberries are another brain superfood. They contain antioxidants that improve communication between brain cells. Dark chocolate, 70% cacao or higher, can enhance focus and mood while you're studying. And complex carbohydrates from whole grains provide steady energy, preventing the brain fog that comes from blood sugar crashes. The hack: before a study session, snack on trail mix with walnuts and dark chocolate, or have oatmeal with blueberries. Skip the sugary energy drinks. They'll cause a crash right when you need your brain most. 4. Practice spaced repetition, not cramming. Here's why cramming doesn't work. Your brain needs time to transfer information from short-term to long-term memory. Spaced repetition, reviewing material at increasing intervals, works with your brain's natural learning process instead of against it. The forgetting curve, discovered by psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus, shows that we forget about 50% of new information within an hour and up to 90% within a week without review. But each time you review material before you completely forget it, the memory becomes stronger and lasts longer. The hack: study math for 25 to 30 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Review the same material the next day, then 3 days later, then a week later. This pattern of spacing creates stronger neural pathways than studying for 3 hours straight. 5. Talk to yourself out loud. This might sound weird, but explaining math problems to yourself out loud is one of the most effective learning techniques. When you verbalize your thinking, you engage different parts of your brain and catch mistakes in your logic. Research from the University of Wisconsin found that students who explained their reasoning out loud while solving math problems were significantly more likely to find and correct their own errors. This technique, called self-explanation, forces your brain to clarify fuzzy understanding. The hack: when you're stuck on a problem, pretend you're teaching it to someone else. Say out loud, "First, I need to find X, so I'm going to..." If you can't explain a step, that's where your understanding breaks down, and you know what to review. Number 6. Embrace the struggle. Your brain grows in the challenge. Here's something counterintuitive. Feeling confused is actually a sign that your brain is learning. When you struggle with a difficult problem, your brain forms new neural connections. This is called productive struggle, and research shows it's essential for deep learning. A Stanford study found that students who worked through challenging problems, even when they initially got them wrong, developed stronger problem-solving skills than students who only practiced problems they could already solve. The key is that the struggle has to lead somewhere. You need to eventually understand the solution. The hack. When you hit a tough problem, resist the urge to immediately look at the answer. Spend 10 to 15 minutes really trying to figure it out. Your brain is literally growing during that frustration. Then, when you do look at the solution, you'll understand it more deeply. 7. Use visual and spatial thinking. Math isn't just about numbers. It's also about patterns and relationships. Your brain's visual cortex is incredibly powerful, and engaging it can make abstract math concepts click. Studies using brain imaging have shown that strong math students use visual spatial areas of their brain more actively, even when solving purely numerical problems. Drawing diagrams, using color coding, or visualizing concepts geometrically can activate these brain regions. The hack. Draw pictures of math problems whenever possible. Graph functions, sketch geometric relationships, use different colors for different terms in an equation. Even for algebra, try to visualize what the equation represents in the real world. 8. Practice mental math. Build your number sense. Using a calculator for everything is like using a GPS for every trip. Convenient, but it prevents your brain from developing its natural navigation abilities. Mental math strengthens your number sense and intuitive understanding of how numbers work together. Research from Johns Hopkins University found that number sense is strongly correlated with math achievement. The good news? It can be improved with practice. Regular mental calculation creates more efficient neural pathways for numerical processing. The hack. Do small calculations in your head throughout the day. Figure out tips at restaurants, calculate discounts while shopping, or estimate how much your groceries will cost. Apps like Elevate or Peak offer fun mental math games that train your brain in just a few minutes a day. 9. Make connections to real life. Your brain is designed to remember things that matter to survival and everyday life. When math seems abstract and disconnected, your brain treats it as low-priority information. But when you connect math to real-world situations, multiple brain areas light up, creating stronger memories. A study in the journal Science found that students who learned math through real-world applications, like calculating the best phone plan or understanding sports statistics, retained the information better and performed better on standardized tests than students who learned the same concepts abstractly. The hack. For every math concept you learn, find one real-world application. How is algebra used in video game programming? How do derivatives help predict how diseases spread? Making these connections tells your brain, this is important, remember this. 10. Develop a growth mindset. About math. Here's the most important brain hack of all. Your beliefs about your abilities literally change your brain. When you believe you can improve at math, your brain responds differently to challenges and mistakes. Neuroscientist Carol Dweck's research shows that students with a growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed, show increased activity in brain regions associated with learning when they make mistakes. Students with a fixed mindset show brain activity associated with shutting down. Even more impressive, a Stanford study found that when students learned about brain plasticity and how their brains could grow with practice, their math grades improved significantly compared to a control group, especially among students who had previously struggled. The hack. When you make a mistake or struggle with a concept, literally tell yourself, my brain is growing right now. Replace I'm not good at math with I'm not good at this yet. That word yet is scientifically proven to keep your brain in learning mode. The bottom line. The myth of being naturally good or naturally bad at math has been thoroughly debunked by neuroscience. Your brain is remarkably plastic, meaning it can reorganize and strengthen itself based on how you use it. Math ability isn't fixed at birth. It's built through practice, the right habits, and most importantly, the belief that you can improve. The students who excel at math aren't necessarily smarter. They sleep enough, they practice regularly instead of cramming, they embrace challenges, and they've trained their brains to see math as a skill to develop rather than a talent you either have or don't. So pick a few of these hacks and start building them into your routine. Your brain is already an incredibly powerful learning machine. These habits just help you use it more effectively. And who knows? You might discover that you actually are a math person. After all, you just needed to train your brain the right way. I used to find maths very difficult in middle school, but growing up with a good maths teacher in high school that taught me all these things made maths a lot easier for me. I graduated from high school as the third best student in maths. Although it's not what I'm studying in university, maths still remains one of my favorite subjects. I hope this helps everyone, even beyond mathematics, to know that you can be anything good in the world as long as you apply the right principles and train your body into what you want it to be. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. It's the Sticky Nurse, bringing you health tips and facts that can improve your mental, physical, and emotional health all together, simplifying it in the best ways possible. Till next time, I'll see you again. It's the Sticky Nurse. Go ace your maths exam.